He is also Chikara's current reigning Grand Champion! Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Kingston!
Oh! What was that? Oh, and Mike, we're off and running. There's the bell. I can't believe he just did that to Gavin.
Loudspeaker has felt the wrath of the big rig. Eddie Kingston hooks him. Wow, a sleepwalker suplex on a man that big, impressive. And Eddie Kingston not afraid to take it to the big rig.
You know, and Mike, we've seen a lot of action here tonight, but this one's just going to be an all-out war. These two men, former friends, former partners in the Roughnecks. And as you heard Gavin mention that Brodie unable to compete the 12 Large Summit due to injury. If you ask Brodie Lee, this title was all but his. And now he made his intentions known last month in Reading. He said it didn't matter who won in Eddie Kingston's first title defense. Eddie Kingston, Vin Gerard. Eddie Kingston won, and now here we have Brodie Lee going for that second defense against Kingston. Nice
tremendous suplex there from our grand champion, Eddie Kingston. As tough as any man I have ever been in the ring with. He gave me the match of a lifetime at high noon, our IP.
Oh, look at this!
Oh, Brodie Lee there. Look at the impressive agility of this big man. Drop kick follows with a clothesline and has mowed down the champ. Now it's Brodie Lee!
Dives out on Eddie Kingston right here in front of us.
He just cracked him down the jaw, did Brodie Lee.
And Brodie Lee has the look of a man, a look in his eyes of a man who is going to do anything he can to be victorious. You saw him mow down Gavin for no reason. You saw him pull Bryce in front of him as Eddie Kingston was coming to him. He's putting his body on the line to become the grand champion here.
Brodie Lee in his 112 Large Summit match was upset, some would say, by Vin Gerard, the same man Eddie Kingston retired 1 month ago in Long Island. And Brodie Lee now asserting his dominance over the champs.
You see Kingston putting his dukes up, trying to defend himself from that kneeling position.
Tough position to strike from underneath like that. Into the eye sockets of Kingston goes Brodie Lee as a way to slow him down.
And Bryce trying to reason with Brodie Lee. Don't get yourself disqualified. That's going to cost you your title match, your title shot here that you wanted so much. Nice European uppercut there by Brodie Lee.
Just saw the last match end in disqualification. It would be a shame to see a championship bout ended in that fashion. We would like to see a clear and undisputed winner here between this one, really, I think, one of the most looked forward to matchups in all of Chikara. The fact that it happens to be for the Grand Championship makes it all the more unique.
Yeah, I was excited. These two were in the same bracket, the 12 Large Summit. I was hoping to see that match over the summer.
They were destined to face each other sooner or later.
That's right, and now here it is, destiny well in hand for both men. Will Kingston lose the title in his second defense, or will Brodie Lee return to the States with a little extra luggage to declare at the border?
Kingston now on the second rope, fingers in the nostrils, as Brodie Lee pulls back on the head of Kingston.
I count, you break, let's go.
And our referees have had more than enough shenanigans tonight. All the weight of Brodie Lee, right down on the throat of Eddie Kingston, who was flattened out on the canvas under the weight of the gargantuan big rig.
And now this contest is at Brodie Lee's speed, slow and methodical. But Kingston still got the fight left in him. Every opportunity, he just lunges at him with his head into his chest or into his midsection. Oh, Kingston up and over from the suplex.
Look at the German suplex there. Kingston couldn't hold the bridge on his crown. You can see he did strike his head on the bridge. He's got to shake the cobwebs out here and get back on his game before Brodie can recover from that terrific German suplex.
These are two big men. This is a little bit smaller of a ring than we've seen recently in Chikara's days. Does bring back a lot of memories, but you saw Brodie's feet got locked up in that middle rope, and I think maybe if he didn't, if Kingston got all that German suplex, that would have been all. This would not be Brodie's match yet again, as he is chopping away at Eddie Kingston and just picks him up by his ears.
And a rapport here back and forth of shots. These two are not holding anything back.
And immediately Brodie Lee, when he starts to see Kingston mounting that offense again, goes right back to the eyes. And you see Kingston like a wild man swinging, hoping to connect with something.
Not to diminish Brodie Lee, but Eddie Kingston, perhaps the hardest striker in all of Chikara. I don't know that anyone wants to get into an exchange of strikes with him.
I don't know if that's confidence on the part of Brodie Lee that he's willing to do so, but he has been successful so far.
That's it, entertainer!
Kingston trying to get under the skin of Brodie Lee. Brodie Lee will kick the teeth down your throat. And Kingston slumps. Could this be all? Oh, only two.
You know, I said before, maybe it's the confidence of Brodie Lee, but Kingston letting his confidence get the better of him, getting inside the head of Brodie Lee, has only made him more angry and more vicious, Mike. But you see there, Brodie not letting his temper control his conduct in this match. Sure got a little bit better than before, but now back to his pace, slow and methodical as he is just stomping in the chest of Eddie Kingston.
Kingston's having a tough time drawing a breath here. Earlier we saw Brodie standing on his throat. Now he's stomping him right on the lungs. And you can, that's a smart move. You've got to try and exhaust Kingston. You're not going to outstrike him. You're not going to beat him up so bad that he'll quit. But there you just saw his sternum driven down across the edge of the apron here. And if Brodie is trying to make it difficult for Kingston to draw a deep breath, he's doing the right thing.
That's right. Put on. What is... Mike, I don't even know what to make of that. And now choking the very air out of him.
Come on, let's go!
Taking a lot of time.
Look at Kingston there. You can see his face turning red. He really needs to take a couple deep breaths here, but he's getting no reprieve from the big rig, who is pressing every advantage here. He wants to walk out of Ottawa with the Grand Championship.
Oh, and again goes to the eyes, but you see Kingston still got that fight, lunging at him as I mentioned before, and still saying, come on, bring it, holding up, not willing to go down.
There is no quit in Eddie Kingston. This I know firsthand. Brodie's lighting him up. A headbutt between the eyes from the champ. But a rock-solid right hand from Brodie Lee shuts him down. Can Kingston recover here?
Irish whip into the buckle here. Brodie takes an extra moment there, starting to feel the effects of those shots from Eddie Kingston. Comes in, probably
Kingston was ready for him.
Gets the boot up. Big kick there by Kingston. Holds on.
Yoshiaki Kawada smiles. Kingston comes out with a second rope bulldog to drive the big man down. Maybe too near the ropes there. Brodie Lee still managed to kick out, though.
And now Kingston in control with that bulldog off the top rope. Kingston still feeling the effects of the better part of the last 5 minutes of that beating that Brodie Lee dished out to him. What's Kingston got in mind here? Shoved off by Brodie Lee, ducks the big line.
Whoa, Kingston up and around. Whoa, he brought him down. His jaw hit the knee of Kingston. He could have broken Brodie Lee's jaw there. That was incredible the way he brought him down right against the kneecap. But Kingston really needs to get back on his game.
And that's a good point. It looked like Kingston might have been going for a knockout shot with that. Kingston going up top, though, taking a little bit too much time.
Practicing a couple more of those, and it's cauliflower ears.
Oh, just a series of headbutts there. A sickening thud.
Looking for the butterfly superplex. Is there enough room?
And he brings Kingston
What
over.
impact! Oh, just in the nick of time, Kingston's shoulder blade came up and referee Bryce Remsburg in perfect position to see it.
He had the leg hooked. He had it deep as he could. He had his weight across the shoulders, but Kingston somehow kicked out of that huge suplex off the top.
The butterfly superplex of Brodie Lee would have put a lesser man down, but our grand champion fights on.
And again, Kingston Kingston still taunting Brodie Lee, getting inside his head. Maybe he's trying to throw Brodie off his game, trying to get him to make a mistake.
Kingston here at times, his mouth has gotten him into more trouble than it seems. Whoa! Look at the rotation! Over the left shoulder of Kingston, did not have enough coverage for the pinning combination of Brodie Lee to work, and referee Bryce Remsburg says 2.
You mentioned that butterfly superplex off the top, but that truck stop has beaten every single person that has come into the ring with Brodie Lee, and Eddie Kingston just kicked out.
Watch me someday.
Brodie Lee now returning the verbal assault of Eddie Kingston, trying to load him with a power bomb.
He's saying that's all. Strong words there by Brodie Lee.
He spiked him, not quite a Hurricane Rana, but Kingston's loose. And he struck with American D right in the face.
But he didn't get all of them, Mike. He didn't get the full running start as we've seen Kingston bound up both sides of the rope, but enough to bring the advantage back to Eddie Kingston as he looks to his fans, the Chikara faithful here in Ottawa. Goes for the back fist, blocked by Brodie Lee.
He's got him hooked. Oh, Kingston right on his skull.
Yeah, he didn't get that full rotation, did land on his back.
Brodie pulls it back, Kingston. Oh, at the last second brings the left shoulder blade up. And our grand champion, Eddie Kingston, fights on.
You know, under any other circumstances, you know, Eddie Kingston is a great grand champion. Brodie Lee would make a great representative as the grand champion, but not under the circumstances that could be happening here. Brodie Lee is victorious. Eddie Kingston really needs to come back here. He's got him in the suplex.
Oh, the Uranagi suplex. Great execution. Too near the ropes for that one to work, though.
Left his leg and put it on there.
This 16-square-foot ring more than once has played a factor here when those of us at Chikara are well adjusted to the 18-square-foot we enjoy when we are home in the United States. And the frustration on Eddie Kingston's face tells the tale here. The Uranagi suplex put Brodie too near the ropes.
Just looking at Brodie Lee with disdain as he just headbutts him, and now both men just slapping each other. Brodie Lee could be out here.
These two rough and tumble customers.
You know, like I said, it was going to be a fight, and that's what this is.
Got him by the ears.
This is usually what you're going to see in about 1:55 a.m. at the establishments both these men frequent out in the street in front of the building, and now we're seeing it here in the ring with the grand championship on the line, just trading shots. Kingston had a steam. Big kick by Brodie Lee.
Extended his leg there. Oh, and he connects with the big boot, does Brodie Lee.
And it looks like the ring moved a few inches with that shot right to the face of Eddie Kingston.
Maybe he's thinking once again he's going to try the butterfly from the top turnbuckle. Keeps cracking him in the ear there, and really takes 14 pounds of pressure to pull a human ear off of the head. You better watch it here. Cactus Jack knows that all too well. Kingston pounding away. Not a lot of room to maneuver up there.
Oh, guys, what's Kingston having? Going for that power bomb off that top. Oh, and he just drove him right in the center of the ring. Hook in the leg, Mike. This has got to be all.
Oh, Brodie Lee kicks out.
And you see Brodie is, I don't know how much more he's got left in him. He kicked out, Mike. He was looking right at us, and his eyes were glazed over. His hand was shaking. Kingston needs to capitalize now.
He's got Brodie reeling here, and Kingston needs to dig down deep and go to the tried and true material, that back fist of his, the tiger suplex, the moves that have served him well.
Now's the time if Kingston can score with that back fist. That's got to be all Kingston signaling for the end.
Oh, but an almost collision with Bryce Remsburg. A second one. And Bryce Remsburg, who's seen a lot of abuse tonight.
Bryce just got sandwiched. Oh, and that was a foul.
And now Brodie Lee follows the foul. Could it be the power bomb? Liger bomb. Bryce missed the foul. Not this way. Eddie Kingston, our grand champion, has kicked out.
And listen to these fans, Mike. They knew how close that was. I can't believe Eddie Kingston kicked out, especially the foul, the power bomb.
Brodie Lee intimating that he would go home with our championship, our belt. Well, not if Eddie Kingston has a breath of life left in him.
He's going for that powerbomb a second time. No, Kingston reverses.
Whoa, the backdrop driver, one of Kingston's back fist. Brodie's out on his feet. One more, no. The lariat mows him down.
American D, if he connects with this. Oh, right to the back
He's
of the head.
knocked out cold. Good night, Brodie.